The regular season is over. Navy, Army, and now it's time to determine the conference champions. With the limited amount of chaos in the top 25 this season, we have some pretty good matchups here to break down that have immense playoff implications, as well as others that don't mean dick except to the schools playing. Let's go. Well, this was interesting. It took until the final week with 3 teams all vying for the championship game, but our contestants have been selected. Tulane will be offered as tribute to SMU. Normally, the Mustangs are, well, the Mustangs, but in case you didn't know, SMU just blew out the Navy like it was Pearl fucking Harbor. SMU has won 8 games this season that were absolutely lopsided, and they are looking like a force to be reckoned with. However, with quarterback Preston Stone breaking his damn leg, it won't be as clear cut. Tulane, on the other hand, is ranked in the top 25, and quarterback Michael Pratt has been outstanding once again in his senior season. Thing is, I feel like with SMU defense being so good this year, they might be able to stifle this Tulane offense. The Wave had a good run, but it's time for the Mustangs to ride again. Right into the buzzsaw known as the ACC. Ouch. This was originally going to be a cakewalk to review. With Jordan Travis at the helm, Florida State would have likely been heavily favored against Louisville in the championship. However, yeah. The less said about that, the better. Now, Florida State is in for a dogfight against one of the most underrated teams in the fucking nation. Louisville has not seen this level of goodness since Lamar Jackson was under center. Quarterback Jack Plummer and their bell cow running back Jawar Jordan have laid waste to their opponents all year and are not going to go down easy. When these two met last season, it was a very close loss for the Cardinals, and they will be even more motivated to take advantage of the weakened Seminoles, but there's of course a catch. The backup quarterback, Tate Rodemaker, who replaced Jordan Travis, was the quarterback in that particular game last season after a different first half injury to Jordan Travis. He was able to lead them to multiple long drive touchdowns in the second half to secure the win. Simply put, Rodemaker is not just a backup quarterback. Given the proper preparation, he can be almost as deadly as Jordan Travis. He proved as much in a very close call on the road against the Gators. Florida State, it's simple. You win, you're in the playoffs. You got nothing to lose. Fuck, this team lost to Kentucky last weekend. Kentucky, seriously, don't fuck this up. After waiting for a chaotic ending that never came, we are down to our usual suspects. Texas is back, baby, in the Big 12 championship. Yeah, I know, stale joke, but this is the Longhorn swan song in the Big 12, so let me have this. Oklahoma State looked incredibly suspect in their overtime win against BYU last week. Texas, meanwhile, took the Red Raiders behind the woodshed for one last blast right in the back of the head. I want to yearn for chaos, but I hate to admit that this Texas team is really goddamn good. I expect the Pokies will put up a fight, but Texas will leave the Big 12 with their trophy, I'm afraid. Hold on to that trophy, Texas. It's the last conference championship you will have for a long fucking time. I don't give a damn about Iowa. You are only here because the Big Ten still gave a fuck about divisions for some reason. So as the West Division winner, you get a free ticket to Indianapolis to become the ritual sacrifice to Michigan in their quest for the college football playoffs. Oh, you were here last year, I know. But look what happened. Have you changed since? Does your offense actually offense? Or does your defense do the work against bullshit West Division opponents all season? No one thinks you're going to win because you will not win. With a very pissed off Jim Harbaugh returning to the sidelines and the conference adding 4 more teams next season, you better enjoy this beatdown in the championship game. You won't be back. Welcome to Conference Championship Week. Poorhouse edition. A conference that is hanging on thanks to FCS transfers and FCS independents managed to survive another season somehow. You have 9 teams and all but 3 finished at or below 500. Fucking pathetic. Unfortunately, this is the game that must be played for some goddamn reason, and someone has to win a toilet seat disguised as a trophy. Thankfully, we at least have 2 reasonable teams playing this year. Liberty is white hot, being undefeated and ranked in the top 25. Despite this, they likely won't make the New Year's Six bowl lists without SMU blowing the doors off of Tulane, which might happen. Meanwhile, New Mexico State has risen from the ashes, knocking off Auburn in their path to a 9-3 run this season. I could see New Mexico State dousing the Flames in this game given the quality win, but unfortunately earlier this season, Liberty knocked the shit out of New Mexico State. So, flame up. Miami could lock up their first MAC title in over 50 years, but to be honest, it's not looking good. Toledo is the heavy favorite coming in, especially since they beat Miami earlier in the year. This high-power offense led by quarterback DeQuan Finn, running back Penny Boone, and a murderer's row of wide receivers will be hard to put down. However, the Miami defense is the main reason they actually got here, only giving up about 16.5 points per game. Having learned from game one, maybe the Red Hawks can find a scheme to abort the launch of the Rockets in this rematch. It's a group of 5 match, yes, but MAC football is still among the best in the group of 5. This game might be the best all weekend, and sadly, I do think Toledo is going to come out with it, but hey, good job, Miami. After a 3-way tie, it took a computer algorithm to determine who is playing this fucking game. One team selected is the usual suspect in Boise State, which is surprising if you remember that they fired their fucking head coach, Andy Avalos, out of a cannon a couple of weeks ago. It's a great comeback story, but who is their opponent? UNLV. What the fuck? Where did the Rebels come from? The last time they were this relevant was the 1990s. 9-3 was the record from this season. It's the best thing that they've done since 1984. Frankly, they are also the better team overall, having locked up their spot in the championship game all but assuredly before the end of the Boise State game. Sorry, Broncos, you have done well to rebound from your coach getting the axe, but you won't get this one. Hopefully your crushed dreams stay in Vegas. I don't know what you're planning to do on Friday night, but this is the end of an era. The final Pac-12 championship, for now at least. Washington has been in a lot of close calls, but have found a way to win every single game with Penix Jr. and that talented offense that can score on you faster than you can blink. However, that defense, that fucking defense. That defense is suspect as all hell. You can win barn burners against USC and barely beat Wazoo all you want, but if you want to make the playoffs and most importantly win the national championship, you got to have a secondary, which they do not have. Come to think of it, neither does Oregon. The bodacious Bo Nix and the Duck offense have been laying everyone to waste all season, except their classic battle against Washington a few weeks ago. I have a feeling this is going to be yet another fun duel that will come down to the final play. But regardless of who wins and advances, this final Pac-12 championship will likely be one for the ages. Both schools are exiting for the Big Ten next season. This game, for the first time and for the last time, is going to be basically a quarterfinal for the college football playoff. No matter who wins and everybody else in every other championship game, the winner is for sure going in. So it will never be the same. Enjoy this one while you can. Oh, look, it's Georgia versus Alabama, a matchup absolutely no one predicted. Ugh. To be honest, Alabama has been riddled with question marks on offense all season long, despite their return to form as of late. Yes, I know I called them done earlier this season after their loss to Texas. I knew that was going to age horribly. That is why I titled it that way. Yes, I know they have been beating their opponents like they stole something and seem to be back to the old Alabama we all know and loathe. However, did you not watch that Iron Bowl? A mediocre Auburn squad had them on the ropes multiple times, gun on the head, ready to pull the trigger, only to commit ritual seppuku on a special teams and to cut off their own head on defense. The point I'm making is that when I say Alabama is going to lose, it's not coming from bias, but from their body of work. Oh, and also from a certain dog in the room. The Bulldogs are an absolute machine. It's their game to lose. Georgia's defense has given up next to nothing against their opponents, and the offense is on full fucking throttle. They are in God mode and are violently looking for history with a three-peat. Something that Alabama couldn't even accomplish thanks to Auburn. No one is safe. If you are in range of the Bulldogs, either get the fuck out of the way or prepare to meet God a hell of a lot sooner than you planned. If it's close at all, it'll only be due to an Alabama defense playing out of its goddamn mind as of late. But even still, I don't see Alabama getting this upset win. Let's face facts. James Madison should have been here. The Dukes have only lost one game all season, but can't play in this game because of the geriatric NCAA transition rules. They will at least get to go bowling thanks to a plethora of 5 and 7 teams this time around. But for this discussion, that means that this game is totally fucking tainted. Troy, I'm sorry. You deserved so much better than this. A matchup against the Dukes could have been game of the week type shit. But instead, you get the rotting corpse of Appalachian State as compensation for your efforts. Enjoy the free win, the trophy, and the rings. If you don't blow it, that is. If you do, I'll laugh my fucking ass off.